Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. You guys know all the good deals. Take part near abandoned Tesla filling stations and here at the Roscoe Diner. Wow, that's a lot of all-terrain vehicle. When you can't fit it in your truck and close the tailgate, that's a big machine. Here it is all unloaded. It is a Honda Foreman 450ES 4x4. Honda made these from, or sold them from 1998 through 2004. And they really pushed them kind of as a farm vehicle, as a real utility vehicle. The beast weighs about 600 pounds, so it is a heavyweight. Yeah, this is my first time going over it well, and I'm just looking for any obvious situations or not. I paid good money for this, and by good money, I mean more than I paid for the last three all added together. So it cost me more money than this Recon 250. That's quite dead. This Moto 4 250 that doesn't seem to have enough compression to get out of its own way, and this big red 200 that I haven't had any time to put any effort into this thing yet. I got a lot of work in front of me. Many of you ask why would you buy this thing? This is from a farm in the Catskills, and it ended up with somebody, then it ended up with a friend of mine. When my buddy Steve got it, he sent it to a shop and he got all new tires on it, low mileage tires and wheels all the way around. He had it fully serviced. They went through it and declared it healthy. He replaced the seat. He put that moose seat on it. So it's already had all of its maintenance done. I've looked it over, and other than this crack in the plastic, and you could see they drilled it in hopes of it stopping, other than that, a little bit of roughness here. And the fact, I don't think that's the right bumper, because if it is, you don't get too much headlight out of it, right? But other than those things, it seems to be quite proper. So I wanted to buy a machine that didn't need a bunch of work, a machine that was going to be another project. I have plenty of projects, so I didn't want that. This beast also weighs in at 600 pounds. That's kind of important. If you take that 600 pounds and add my 2 1/4, it has a good possibility of actually being able to push snow. Add to that the really good tires, and I'm hoping that my winter is a lot easier. By the way, it also came with these tires, which is really good. I'm got to go through the projects, figure out which one this is going on. I think these are meant for the Wolverine, which would be great. When Honda introduced this thing, they really pushed the marketing for the farmers. And I guess at the time, between 98 and 04, automatic transmissions were becoming real popular. And with the electric shifter, that was kind of like the way of getting you halfway to an automatic. I see it also has this stubby thing here, and that's probably so the extra shifter could be added on. I don't have the key on me right this second, but I did turn this on, and it has just under 2,000 miles on it, 1,900 and change. I figure that's about half-life for these things. Back in the day, these sold for $59.95 without any options. I'm not sure if the option of the winch was added at the time, and it appears as if this exhaust, the silent rider, I'm not sure. This is the regular exhaust that ends here. Then it looks like this muffler is an add-on. I'm not quite sure why. Once again, you can tell, given the fact it's not all battered, right? There's no damage up front here. Right to the A-arms, they're not all kicked in, right? I mean, you got a little bit to that aluminum skid plate, but one could do that in a matter of minutes. You know, this is pushed back slightly, but it's really in very nice condition. Now, should you be out looking for one of these, and I haven't found the VIN number yet, so I don't know exactly what year this is. I think it's in the 2000s. I don't think it's a 98, 99. I think it's one of the 4 years newer, but I don't know that. I haven't found the VIN. But what these are known for, a lot of people would mud bog them. Then they have a tendency to hold water in the axle. I guess water gets by the seals, and it eats the splines off, so that as that axle goes straight through, and you got those gears in there where the axle goes straight through and those splines hook it to the gear, they have a tendency to rust out on the axle, so that you got a whole lot of neutral in the back, and it just doesn't move. Honestly, before I get this beast out for a ride, I have to do some more research on it. I mean, that appears to be for the winch, you know, shifting up, shifting down, lights on, high, low, starter on, off, obviously figured out. Choke, not a problem. Odometer trip, no big deal. And there's also, I'm not sure if any of these engage and disengage the four-wheel drive. When I read up on it, to me, I thought it said it had the ability to go four-wheel drive and not. So I am curious about that, and I have to look it up. I also need to go through, make sure she's got gas and oil. I've already looked over the frame fairly well, and particularly back here where you got to worry about a seal in the rear end and all that. I guess they say you should jack it up and see how much play you got. Also, not a bad idea, just to ward off evil spirits, to make sure the oil's been changed in the rear end. I'm sure Steve already did that, but it never hurts to double check these things. Anybody who owns one of these Foremans, I mean, have you plowed snow with it? I'm just curious to how good it does. At 600 pounds, plus me at another 2.25 sitting on it, I imagine it should push pretty good. All new tires, right? I imagine it should push right through the snow and do a good job with that. It came with a 5-foot plow. 5-foot plows, not exactly small, but you know, if you go down the driveway and you turn it, you need 5 foot so that, you know, your tires aren't in the snow on both sides. So I am curious if anybody has any experience with that. If you guys could tell me where the VIN number is, I'm going to look it up, but if you guys could tell me that, that's never a bad thing to figure out. And also, I don't see a way of locking and unlocking the front differential. I think that's an hour meter. I think that's miles. I'm not quite sure what those two do. I think one is for setting the time, and I'm not sure what the other one does. So this might be an older one. Maybe it didn't come through with a Diffie lock, a Diffie unlock. So anyway, anybody who owns one of these things, if you could just give me a little bit of advice, and particularly what to watch out for. I'd like this to be one of those forever all-terrain vehicles, one of those models that stay in the Hoard forever, and then my kids get to play with it. So any advice would be appreciated. I think I'm going to like this thing as a utility vehicle. I think at 600 pounds, it's going to be a lot like the Grizzly 600, just a little heavy as a ride-around fun quad. You really can't body English it. It's going to go where it's going to go, and you're going to ride it there. Where some of the lighter stuff, you could kind of throw them around by throwing your weight around. Anyhow, I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Once again, any advice on this thing, I'd really appreciate it. I believe it's all serviced up and all ready to go. But anything to look for, please tell me. I need y'all to keep your feet down, heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Make sure you have plenty of fun, because you don't want the fun to happen without you. Bye now.